hello again. We're back this week on Tuesday. Mondays, I believe, start next week. That's when I'm off again, right? All right.
I don't think you have us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't unmuted you yet because I have master control.
Rude.
Steven, Laura, Bud, back again tonight.
Hello.
It's been a very disorganized week, so we're talking about horror games and series that we like, and anything else from there.
It'll probably just kind of prattle on like it normally does.
Yeah, like whiny, incessant. I'm not going to finish that sentence. But welcome. We have our guest, as always, the Nintendo screen background. May hear Senor Rango. I don't know. He's been pretty good about not sitting down there.
He's not been crying lately.
That's okay. So, favorite horror games. Mm-hmm. Let's just jump right into it, like Phil DeFranco says. Let's just jump into it.
So, I mean, one of the most well-known horror games, of course, is the Silent Hill series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? It's been dead for like how long?
It's still one of those
it's
cult classics that everybody likes. Is there video? I don't think the video's on.
Yeah, I know it's not. I missed the button. There we go. We're alive now.
You get to write stuff.
With Kid Icarus.
Silent Hill.
What about it?
With creepy pyramid head that pops out of nowhere and
love that guy.
Freaky nurses and
was that the first or
legless,
second?
armless creatures.
I don't believe he was in the first one. Was he? Pyramid Head?
Pyramid?
I don't think he was, because I think he was a manifestation of James Guilt.
I don't remember.
I
just remember that he would come. He would fuck shit up.
Or was Harry Mason 1 or 2? Harry Mason. I came here for vacation.
Yeah. That. I don't remember.
Oh crap! We're getting feedback. Hang on. No, you keep going. I'm talking.
Oh,
I don't know why I'm telling the TV to hang on.
I don't know why you are either.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, I think my volume is on.
Oh, is it?
On my iPad, yes.
It
is. There we go.
I think we forgot to tell our moderator.
Who? Oh, took it on?
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh well.
We are uncensored at the moment. Our moderator has left the chat.
I just remember going through Silent Hill and having that stupid radio and hearing it every time it would go.
That didn't bother me at all.
I hated it.
Really?
Yeah. The things that screech. Oh, those stupid birds on the road. Those bird things. You couldn't hit because you had a stupid pipe to hit them with.
So, what about the game is scary? Not just talking about everything you did in the game. That bird. Wait, no, that enemy at the end.
The mechanics were pretty scary.
They were. The monsters were scary.
So, I think I liked it. I think that's a good topic. It's not just Silent Hill, but like those early, let's say 90s era horror, like late 90s, so 64, PlayStation 2 and 3 kind of, and Xbox. I liked them, like particularly Resident Evil's, because they had the tank controls.
That's what made it scary, was that you couldn't see around the corners.
Yeah, and you hear everybody these days bitching about tank controls, like Resident Evil, like they actually patched tank controls out of Resident Evil 4, apparently.
Did they?
Or no, Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 0 on the remakes.
That's what made it scary, though, was that you didn't know.
Yeah, everyone complained.
You couldn't face a certain way, and the camera was fixed in a corner. So, like, if there was a zombie around the corner, you didn't know until you turned the corner.
The whole idea was to make you go, oh shit, and react. But it was actually, I saw many articles talk about it when they did the re-releases of them in HD that would say they fixed the control problem. And I'm like, what? There was no control problem. If you read back with director interviews, they purposefully made tank controls so you felt tense, so you could not react quickly.
Yeah.
Because the whole point was to make you go, eee!
Oh, yeah.
I mean, try running from those things when it actually gets you in a panic. It's like
the liquor, all the liquors,
why I only made
the Crimson Heads.
You did, yeah, your 30-minute intervals.
30 minutes into any game.
Did you have like one of those slap clocks?
No, I would just drop the control and be like, I'm done.
Well, like
It's like when you get a good joke in and you just walk out because you know that's the epitome.
Yes,
I'm out.
I'm out.
it got really bad though. Whenever like the
Costanza.
normal zombies weren't as bad because they were slow, but once you got to like the crimson heads and the lickers and they were just like everywhere, that's when it became a problem because crimson heads ran like they didn't walk.
Oh, you're talking
They
about, but those are
bolted
remakes.
at
Those
you.
are not in the original.
Thought they were,
They're not in one.
but still.
In fact, the only time I beat the PS1
they
version
were-
was when it was re-released on the DS. That was a fun one.
I got
though.
as far as the snake in the attic.
Such a crappy, like the video. Yeah, those are the real videos from it too. That's the best part.
I love
What,
it.
you didn't
What
know
a-
that the Crimson Heads weren't original.
I don't remember.
No,
I didn't
those
play
were not in the
I didn't play
PlayStation.
the original.
Oh,
one.
those weren't in it. In fact, a lot of the area, like in the back part of the mansion, so when you get to Kenny's body, when you first find him in the beginning, first of all, pilfer the video off of him, watch it later, it unlocks a secret costume. But if you get to that hallway around the back where it lets you through, it actually doesn't loop back into the mansion in the original version. Yeah, you have to go all the way back around to do anything else.
That's silly.
It takes a lot of time.
You know, I was just thinking of one of those games. Speaking of like things that
Don't
are actually
touch my
scary.
foot.
I didn't. Things that are scary, bud. Are you touching? No. Things that were like or scary, but or not scary. One of those games I think that tried to kind of be scary was Dead Rising. Was that where you took the pictures of the zombies?
Eric in the
Like,
mall.
I think it was like trying to do this weird
Yeah.
comedy / horror thing, and it
Yeah.
just ended up being ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think as the series went on, it got worse. Like, cause
It was meant to be more serious. Like you were supposed to be like an actual journalist, like taking photos of like the zombie outbreak and like
Oh my
trying
God.
to save people.
No,
And-
you talking about
No, I think they were
It's-
trying to originally
what
go.
game is this?
Dead Rising.
There's like 4.
I
of
think
them.
they were trying at first to go for something more scary.
Okay, the third one was creepy in the beginning.
Was the third? I didn't play the third one.
You know, I have it on
I think-
Xbox. You can
I gave
play
up.
it.
I gave
I
up after
think
the
the-
first
I
one.
think the 4th one was directed by Michael Bay.
Why? There's so many explosions?
No, just the story. Like I think like it literally was.
Oh, no. Unless there are explosions, it's not Michael Bay. He's the fake.
I'm pretty sure.
I call fake.
Alright.
I feel like that
Yeah,
game
This-
just made
the
fun of
story-
itself after a
this-
while.
I watched someone play part of it, and it's ridiculous.
What, Dead Rising?
Which one do you... Oh, he's got Dead Rising 3 probably, Danny. He's talking about it.
All right. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, but we totally got off topic of
Oh.
90s
Oh,
horror
sorry.
games.
Oh.
But I enjoyed them because, like Bud said, I had to do 30-minute playing sessions or
Mhm.
somebody had to be there playing with me. My big thing about these games primarily stems to good times with my older brother, like sitting here watching him play, like particularly Resident Evil 2 on the 64.
Well, see, that's kind of the thing. Is just talking about just '90s games. Like we didn't play a lot of horror games. I didn't like scare. I don't like scary.
But that's what I
things.
liked about the horror games. Is they required me to be around other people
I
to
did-
complete them.
I didn't play like scary games, and even now playing scary games, I jump a lot. Like I'll refuse to go down hallways.
Then how did you ever beat any Resident Evil? Well,
I
okay,
ran.
let's be fair here. 5 and 6 do not count. Neither does Raccoon City. What? There were 2 Raccoon City games, weren't there?
I think so.
Yeah, I have one which I don't ever play, and then yeah, anything beyond 4 doesn't count
In 4, I raffle-coptered a lot.
because 4 actually still had some of that horror element because it made you jump.
I would jump a lot, but
It
eventually
didn't have the fear factor.
The-
The fear factor left after the first village.
the only way I can get through scary games is to make it a big joke and laugh about it.
Actually,
Otherwise, I can't get through it. I'm like, I don't want to go. I know there's something down this hallway. Oh, that's another good one. Another scary game. It's not 90s unless you have more 90s. I can hold off on it.
yes,
What?
Parasite Eve.
Let me write this down.
Let's see here, Parasite Eve,
I
Resident
just
Evil.
forgot it. Oh, I remember.
Is that 90s? No,
This
that's not
game-
90s. That'd be
this was-
2000s.
This was a really scary game.
PS1?
What? Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Actually, once I changed my mindset on playing it, it was not. But no, me and Danny were actually talking about that same idea that
Forgot
Oh,
about that.
what was
that
that?
it's terrible to play those games the way they're designed, like at their pace,
Mhm.
because that's when it works best. But we were talking about how when you make it a utility, like the game is like you think like a speed runner or somebody, you have a goal. You got to get through this, or an aggressive player. It's not scary in that same sense because you're always moving. You're moving too quickly to let anything get under your skin because it's like, got to get this done, got to get this done, got to get this done. Kill that, got to kill that thing, kill that thing, run from that thing, kill that thing.
When I was younger...
Your thought process keeps moving,
When
is my point.
When I was younger, I was not very coordinated with the tank controls, which was part of the tension that I always had.
Did you do this?
Just trying to aim, and then try to run. I always run against the wall, parallel with it. So
where is this?
They want me to do
any tank control game when I was younger. That's why I couldn't.
So just put yourself against the wall and run.
That's
dirty fighting.
Do a PT playthrough.
Actually,
I saw videos of that game. I'd either rafflecopter.
I can get
or
it.
I would cry.
I'm just afraid.
I'd have to laugh. I'd have to make some jokes at it just to get through.
I wish somebody would have mentioned that earlier because I'd actually risked it with the Xbox or the PlayStation I sold to you. There's a way for me to get it back because I have it. It just got deleted somehow. I don't know if I deleted it or if I never downloaded it. But by the time I went to put it back, it cut the download. But there's a way to go around it by sending it out to servers that route the signal.
Okay.
Problem is, there's a risk that you get banned from the service, or not, or that PlayStation gets banned. So I was like, I'd have been happy to do it with the one I sold, not with my new one. No,
well, I mean, because I'm not very concerned about network connectivity. So.
They made it in Unreal for PC as well, apparently.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's a remake.
But it'd still be fun to
It's
play.
a fan make. Yeah, but I can get a hold of the official one, and if I can do it, I'll do it.
Got a file if you want to risk it sometime. You've been offered.
Is that the PC or the PlayStation?
Probably the PC.
So I can get the PlayStation one.
I'll play it, but like I said, I'll be making terrible jokes the whole
It's
time.
got to have
trying to
Norman
make myself laugh.
Reedus.
Like there'll be some.
That's the name, right?
A ghost will show up at the end of the hallway, be like, "Look at that bitch."
Anyway, yeah.
She's trying to steal my Twinkies.
But Danny was talking about a game. The only game that actually truly freaked me out, and I mean like freaked me out, is a game I bought for. It's like one of those old point-and-click adventure style games, which is like the scariest thing I've ever played. It was Evidence: The Last Ritual or something like that.
Can we bring up like a picture of it?
Let me see.
Because that would help. Because some of
you will not know this game.
Okay. Well, it might.
Most people will not.
Excuse me.
Know this game, but Evidence: The Last Ritual is a game where you sign up for an email account kind of thing. And you start playing it, and the game actually periodically emails you as you hit milestones, and even then it's got random periodic emails it sends out, and you're pretty much back and forth with a killer to solve the game. So like at 3 a.m, you get like a text that says, "Where were you? Where are you? I'm at the door." Kind of weird things like that, and it's just trippy.
I think I could only do that if I had a burner, just in case someone did get a.
But it goes to your email, so the only reason I was getting on my phone is this where my...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be creepy if someone got wind that you were doing that and actually started stalking you in real life, It's like, But yeah.
It's pretty cool. Last I checked, the servers were still running, too.
There was a game, I can't remember what it's called, but it was on an older system.
Granted, that's a 2000 era horror game.
I gotta find it. No, it's not Pitfall. There was this game where you had to go through, like... I found it once, because I never knew the name of it, and for some reason it really freaked me out, because, like... So you go through, like, you're in the jungle with your girl. It's like a continuation of, like, several games. Like, your girlfriend ends up getting bit by a snake, so you have to, like, go and find medicine for her. And so you, like, go to this nearby village, but it's, like, full of all, like, these cannibals. So, like, stick you in a cage, and, like, I could never get out. Like, they end up eating you if you don't get out in time. And I could never figure out how to get out. And it,
what system?
I don't know.
Can you bring it up? And we have nothing that we know about
I was trying to find it, but I couldn't.
So the game I was talking about here is Evidence: The Last Ritual. And you see it on the bottom right. It should be popping up sometime about now. Well, about now for me. At the moment it pops up is when it pops up free. Anyway, and this is the game I was talking about. It's from the Adventure Game Company, I believe. And you can play through a series of puzzles. They're just trippy images like this. And they're like, one of the puzzles is this girl blinks her eyes in a particular order.
Like Morse code ish.
Kind of, but it's more about counting how many blinks. I don't know Morse code, so I'd have been boned from the very start.
Mm-hmm.
And she's crying, and then she'll stop and go through a pattern of blinking, and then she'll go through this other animations, and then it'll cut back to that. And you have to solve what's going on in the images, and this is you going back and forth with the killer to solve the crime. And you're supposedly some 90s cop. See if I can find a little bit more about it.
Interesting.
Oh, there's actually the puzzle right there. It's not animated, but
That looks very realistic, though.
because it is, it's live film.
Oh, well, that makes it creepier.
Yeah, none of it is CG. Well, okay, obviously they're computer generated graphics in a sense, but none of it is computer generated characters. It's all people.
Okay,
I think I maybe found it.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway, it's just a pretty awesome game. If you want to get creeped out, it's like $20, I think. Comes in an evidence bag. It's pretty neat.
It's called Hugo 3 Jungle of Doom. Like, it's really not. I guess it's not. It's like a point and click adventure game, but like you get stuck in this house, and
I might have that on that cartridge.
and you get stuck. You'd get stuck
Oh
in
my
like this,
God.
like these like voodoo people would grab you and they'd
Yeah.
stick you in this cage, and then if you didn't get out fast
Are we
enough,
talking about that cartridge?
they throw you in a pot, and then that'd be game over. I was like, I could never figure out how to get
Hugo.
out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have
There's
it.
different ones. There's Hugo's House of Horrors. Is actually we actually played that on PC once. That was really fun. It's meant to be creepy. Like you can like it's like a text adventure game on that one, I think. And like, why are you eating cornbread? Yeah,
Family Guy?
No. Oh,
When they're hiding.
yeah. Hugo's
In
House
World
of
War
Horrors.
II,
was
you know what
the
I'm
first
referring
one.
to?
I'm pretty sure I do.
He's in the attic with Anne Frank, and he's sitting there with
Oh.
a bag of potato chips, slowly going.
Actually, yeah. No. Have you guys ever played Hugo's House of Horrors before? Like
No.
you go through this whole house and like it's all like there's all this.
Is
Like,
it horror?
technically
No.
you die?
I guess it'd be 8-bit horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, you die in a game doesn't make it a horror game, and technically you
If
It's called House of Horrors.
Pokemon die.
It's called House of
If
Horrors.
it gives you chills and thrills, that's a horror game. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on to the 2000s now. I think we've
Alright.
blown away from the 90s and completely got lost in time in general.
No, I didn't. That was from like that's not even from the 80s. we went back even further.
Nah.
Ow.
So the next generation will be like PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem on the GameCube. That's that one that I had for the longest time that my brother let me borrow so long ago.
I don't remember.
It has a sanity meter, and that game
Mhm.
actually dicks with you. So, like, as your sanity gets lost, weird things will happen in the game. Like, your character will literally fall to pieces.
Oh.
Like, an arm will fall off randomly, and she'll just start continually breaking into pieces, and then it says you died. And you don't die, it just takes you right back to where it all started, falling apart. Or
That's
you'll
crazy.
see a fly buzzing around on the screen,
Oh, I think I remember you playing that game.
and it's not a real fly. It's just there to make you think there's a fly. Or sometimes it will say data
Disk read-
corrupted,
yeah, like-
erase memory card erased,
Mm-hmm.
and it dicks with you. And so you got to get your sanity back up to stop that from happening. And it's actually got a pretty decent combat system, but it's a trippy game. Another one series from that era, one of my favorites, Fatal Frames. I love them. I'm
Is-
so bad with the story, but I love those games. They're just creepy. They make you jump. It's like a first-person shooter, but not. Like it's third-person most of the time, and you get the camera. If you can get it, the second version has two versions I recommend. The Xbox version, because you can play first-person. And then if you can find it, the Australian version for the Wii, which was remade on the Fatal Frame 4 engine. I'll stop and let you guys talk for a minute.
No, you're fine. No, because I can't really think of any games specific like that was later on. The only game I remember like being super excited for that I was hoping would be more of a horror game that tried was Silent Hill. Shattered Memories. It tried really hard. It just
I'm sure it made you jump if you were alone.
The only time it was scary was whenever you were running through the
Oh
freaking
yeah, you had
maze.
to run.
The puzzles were easy. The
story
story was kind of
was-
meh, but like running through that hall and not having a weapon and just like having to book it down these endless halls and not knowing where to go and hiding in these closets and
The
hoping
story
things
made it
didn't catch you.
digestible.
That was the only thing that was scary. Was like I gotta find this fucking exit before
And
this
you
thing
couldn't
catches
fight
me.
back.
Yeah, you couldn't fight back at all.
Yeah, you had to freaking run from
You had to
everything.
just run and bolt for this.
It's like they
You
ran.
had to rafflecopter. This was
Yeah.
why it was why it's my game. Like I rafflecoptered through the hole. They just ran.
Is rafflecoptering actually a thing, or is that something you just make up?
No, I think it's a thing.
Okay, I just gotta
If
check.
it's-
So we need some context
if
just in
it's-
case.
If it's not, you should
Rafflecoptering is basically whenever
copyright that.
copyright. Rafflecoptering is basically whenever you, no matter what's in your way, you just run through it as fast as you can.
Like a punk.
But you gotta say rafflecopter as you do it, or it doesn't work.
I mean, that's actually how I've been getting through Revelations. Honestly,
Yeah.
like that technique has helped me a
You
lot.
have to laugh. Yeah, you gotta say rafflecopter as you go through though, or otherwise it doesn't work.
Well, the walls of my apartment are kind of thin,
And then you gotta
and
yell-
then I'd be
and then
pretty
as-
loud saying it.
I've seen it before.
As you
Danny.
get away, you gotta go, bitch.
My neighbors would think I'm going crazy. Raptocopter. And-
I don't know if it's just. Honestly, I don't remember if it was something that we came up with or if it was just. I know rafflecopter is an actual thing, but I don't know if rafflecoptering like through stuff is a thing or not, or if we.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was
either.
so long ago. It was just something we started saying. I don't know.
So Laura had another one that she was talking about.
Was
The
that-
reason I like, and we can get to that here in a minute. It's the one you brought up earlier that we just haven't mentioned because we haven't hit that console generation. Fatal Frames. Just I want to mention those again because those really are. If you want a game that truly just kind of gets under your skin and is unnerving, and you like Japanese,
Lore.
I guess spirituality kind of thing, because it's based heavily in the way that they view spirits. And if you can get into that, if that kind of stuff gets under your skin, that's a really good game to play. Going back, and it's like I love it. Like the sequences go from like modern day color, goes to that clipping film roll look. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, that black and white, and there's some truly just unnerving moments in it, which are and the ghosts are disturbingly designed. Like there's one ghost that just bothers me. It's a ghost that fell down a well, and her neck is snapped to the side, and she's just kind of dragging towards you slowly, and that's just creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're looking for a good, creep factor, that's a good game. Danny talks about Doom 3, which actually does fit within this generation of games, the 2000s, early 2000s, that is. And we were talking about that earlier, that Doom 3 is scary when it's played the right way. And then this would get into that conversation but when you got people that go through it purposefully, it's not near as scary.
Well, I mean, Doom was originally meant to be run.
That's what I mean,
It's
yeah.
not meant to.
3 changed its drive.
That's why.
It shifted from shooting to a narrative-driven game.
Okay.
There was still heavy shooting, but most of it involved a narrative first. And then creeping through corridors, shit jumping out at you, making go, oh!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
It was effective, though.
Yeah, I'd say it was actually fairly effective. I would say 3 actually fits in the horror genre more than Super Ghosts and Goblins.
I guess that's more of a platformer.
Yeah.
So maybe rafflecoptering. Like I know rafflecopter is a thing, but I think rafflecoptering through stuff is maybe a me and Megan thing.
Yeah, I would assume as much.
I couldn't remember. It became so ingrained in such a a normal thing. I was like, I don't remember if we stole that or not. It's still fun. Still my favorite thing to do in games.
If you enjoy it, then enjoy it.
Well, if you ain't got no bullets,
You always
it's
use
time to
your knife.
rafflecopter.
I just ran.
And if you
That's
don't have a knife,
rafflecoptering.
then use your fist. Can't use your fist.
Which brings us
Then you
into
run
the
away.
next console generation. So this one where I think you guys might find more. PlayStation 3, Xbox 360,
Yeah.
Wii.
Yeah. This is where
Wow, I already did one week.
Yeah, I know you did.
Whoops.
I got pretty far in Dead Space when I got mine.
Dead Space was great at jump scares.
My legs are itchy.
Like the ambience in that game, like I played through it recently, And the only reason I got through it is because I just started changing my mindset. Instead of being like, I'm going to explore, it's like, I got to beat this game. I need to get to the end of the level. So it's like things didn't make me jump near as much.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you finally get used to the jump scares, it's like running through it. I beat the whole game with the pistol.
Oh, really?
On what game?
The plasma cutter, yeah.
Oh, on
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Dead Space 1, yeah. I beat the whole game with the plasma cutter.
Freaking hated Dead Space. I hated it so much because every time I
Dad
knew
loved 'em.
I knew when the stupid jump scares were gonna happen. It's like you pull out your little thing, it's like, go this way. It's like, I don't want to go that way. I know what's gonna happen down that way. It's like, you have to go this way.
Bad
Like,
things happen down
bad
that
things
road
happen.
there.
Like, let's go into the bloody room that is clearly a trap. Like, this is gonna be fine.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Yeah, it's awful. I hated it. It just made me nervous. Like the whole game, I was nothing but like anxious.
It's actually the
And
first game I can actually sit through.
And then you get to the
Really?
you get
Yeah.
to the little baby things.
Mhm.
I hated those things. And then the plants,
It's
I
like the
hated those
flood.
too.
Like the flood.
I hated that
It's funny
whole
they were
game.
actually talking about the library in the chat earlier from the first game.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hated that whole game.
I don't remember the
It's just-
babies.
Yeah,
They
whenever
probably didn't bother me that much.
it's like in the open space part where you're having to jump back and forth between
Mhm.
and all the stuff, all the debris is flying around. There's these little baby things that start crawling towards you,
Nope.
and they fly at you. I
That
hated
sounds like
them.
the baby cherubs in Doom 3,
I
though.
hated them so much.
That must have been a theme going around games then.
Because babies are kind of
Baby
weird like that.
baby killers.
Oh, that's actually a
Killer
good,
babies, I
a
mean.
good segue into a Doom meets Silent Hill kind of experience. This has been Dementium, The Ward, 1 and 2 on the Nintendo DS are pretty good. You can also get Dementium 2 on Steam. But those were actually fairly decent horror games on the Nintendo DS.
I've never heard of them.
It was creepy, and the ambiance was good. Anything of note yet?
Huh? No.
Oh, you're
I'm
looking down
talking.
intently, so
No, I was reading the chat.
I don't know.
It's because they were saying it's like a thing that like it's strange that babies are considered a creepy thing. Like it's like a video game trope. It is.
Well, it's like if anyone ever watched like a haunting or the more documentary style shows of paranormal things like that. Like when you hear those children's nursery rhymes played in an off key, or they sound like they're on an old broken toy piano. There's just something creepy about that with an echo put to it down.
I think the thing is it's because they're supposed to be so innocent, and so
It's a distortion of what they're supposed to be.
so innocent.
It's not
and so,
comfort
like,
anymore.
So harmless, and then it's like, no, this baby's gonna murder you.
Babies aren't harmless. They do a number on your wallet.
Maybe that's the real key behind it. It's like children are scary. Don't have children. Scaring gamers into never having
It's
children,
actually
so
a
they can
movement,
so
though.
they can spend more money on games.
It's actually a movement. There's some guy out of, what was it, India that's suing his
Oh,
parents for
God.
having him.
That
Well,
guy.
how?
Why are we bringing him up? Don't bring.
'Cause
Are
that's
you
attention to
funny.
him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm totally serious.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He is
yeah.
suing his parents for having him, and his parents are lawyers. And his mom is proud of him for taking a stand for what he believes.
Oh my
It's he's gonna lose, and he knows it. It's the point he's trying to make, that it's unethical to have children. What?
It depends.
It just seems so. I don't even know what to say.
If you're Octomom, then yes. But if you're generally trying to grow a family, then no.
I mean, it depends. Is the family for you?
Octomom, no, it's for her.
He's asking how it's.
I mean-
No, but what my point being is that, like, is the child fulfilling you, or
Yeah.
like I say, a child that comes along naturally, bango, it's cool.
Is that
What?
how would it be on like? Yeah.
How would it be
Oh.
unethical? Well, the fact is, you're bringing somebody into a world of suffering and pain. The world's not always joy, but some people don't want to live with that. And his argument is that you are bringing someone in unwillingly. Now, I could see that argument standing in the case of people that are having children merely in the sense that, hey,
How are you supposed to ask?
that's the whole crux of his argument, is where it falls apart right there. But that's not the point. The point is the argument he's making is that you don't know what this child's life is going to be, and if you're bringing him into the world because you want children or you just want to have a baby, that's not fair to the life you've been creating or you have created. As opposed to a child, I think, that comes along naturally is not something you've necessarily asked for. It's just something you haven't prevented.
This is practice
you
for
did
when
ask for it.
AI gains consciousness.
Here's the thing: is you technically did ask for it because you knew the consequences of what you were doing.
I get what you're saying, but
I mean, I'm just this is
sex is natural, so then.
But still, you know, there's consequences to every action, and that's one of the consequences.
But you're distorting the whole point of the argument.
But
there.
no, I'm not, because it's a valid point. That's just it's part of life.
But the intent is different. The intent matters. The intent is that not to get pregnant. The intent is if it happens, it happens. Whereas somebody intending to get pregnant can be seen as doing it for selfish purposes.
Or they can just say that it just happened.
But
that's the thing. How do you prove that it wasn't intentional or that it was?
That you're reaching there's no reason to even argue that, because it has nothing to do with the existence of the child. What intent is known to you personally. That's all that matters. And you can lie to your child, but then that's you being a dishonest human being. The whole crux of this is everyone's honest with everybody, and you say, "Look, little Jimmy, we had you because you came along, not because we were trying to bang out a baby." That changes the argument of why the child was born. Is the whole crux.
It just seems weird. Anyway, this is a whole nother topic.
That's probably true, Danny. That's probably true.
Anyway,
but
games, babies.
It's just an interesting argument.
Games lead to babies. We all know that.
I mean, I've seen some pretty suggestive pictures about games leading to babies. When two gamers get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, bow chicka wow wow.
You ever seen roleplay servers on WoW?
Oh dear God! No, thank you. I'm good. I'm happy with the things that I see on my own time. I don't need that. Probably a lot of personas hanging out there. What are you doing over there on your Game Boy?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I wanted to show you.
Yeah, his cheapo China cart.
There's Hugo games on there.
Can I click it?
Yeah. I was gonna wait for a good time to bring that up.
No, that's not it. That's some weird troll guy named Hugo.
Well, there's a bunch of things titled Hugo on here. Anyway.
What the hell are you talking about, Danny?
We get girls in.
You mean that game that Phil found? Yeah, we're not going to talk about that game here because that game is wildly inappropriate.
I like how he put dating in quotations. That tells me we shouldn't talk about
that.
it.
Is
That tells me we shouldn't talk
That
about
is where I'm just going to stop talking about that. We don't talk about that game on this channel. It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it. People know it exists. That's all it. No. And some people shouldn't even know it exists. It's the terrible thing.
I don't like that. Anyway, back to the horror game topic.
I mean, Danny's technically right. That does fall well within horror, just on the wrong end.
I don't know. There were, like I said, I don't really play that many horror games. Like the biggest horror games I play are what I'm playing recently on the PC, which is Dead by Daylight.
It's not horror.
It is.
What's the story?
There is a story. There is a lore behind it. Yes. These people got lost and they get lost in like the fog, pretty much.
They get lost a lot.
Yeah. Well, so you get pulled into like this alternate dimension, and basically the entity, which is like, it's kind of like this.
Freddy.
No. The entity is its own thing. It's what's like.
You have to feed it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, so the killers, so it's basically pulled in all these killers and all these innocent people, and it's using the killers to murder the people, and it feeds off of hope, basically. So that's why you can escape, technically. You just go back to the bonfire each time. But it's feeding off of your hope to escape. That's why there's random generators in the middle of a forest. It's just giving you this hope that you can get out. And every time you get killed, you end up back at the bonfire. That's how you can keep playing games. You end up back at the bonfire, and it just continually like feeds off of your soul.
So there's no end to this narrative.
There's no end to it.
Yeah,
still horror. It's
That's
still horror.
lazy writing.
It's
from
still
this.
horror. It's a good fun multiplayer game.
It's like
the killers are creepy. Like, yes, they did add some of like Michael Myers and that stuff, but they actually have other killers that they've given backstories to. Like, they actually have like backstories to them. I don't know.
That's like saying that.
It's it's creepy.
That's like saying Overwatch has a story.
It does.
But what about the Friday the 13th
It
game?
does have a story, but the story
It's
exists
the exact
apart from the
same
game.
thing,
Yeah,
except
Friday the
for
13th. That's still horror too. It's
Yeah, I don't consider that
it's
horror.
creepy whenever
It's
you're
based
getting
off-
hunted down.
It's based off the movie, and it's
Yeah.
very close. The kills are pretty similar,
Yeah.
and you get creeped out like you would watching a movie,
I don't think it's quite the same because it's not
Depending on-
narrative driven.
depending on your intention.
Maybe I should have been more precise in my definition of narrative driven horror.
Those are the
Okay.
you didn't specify, and those are the only horror games that I play.
I don't consider that horror.
Okay, well then
That's like 4+1 multiplayer.
well, Danny also said Left 4 Dead was his favorite horror game.
That is not horror
It
either.
is.
You
You're
know
trying to get
exactly what's
out.
coming when.
No, there's tanks and witches, and you don't know when those are gonna.
That's
pop.
j- That's jump scares. That's not horror.
That's horror. You're why?
It's not in that same fashion.
It is. The only other one I have that is
That's
before
a first-person shooter. Through
before
and
Dawn. That
through.
is nothing but story, and that is a horror game.
It was a crap.
It
game.
was a horror game, and I didn't like it.
The only reason that one
Decision-based.
even falls off my radar is because there were 4 of us playing it.
Yeah, but you guys were making me make all the decisions, and then I
Yeah,
stopped
which
because
was
I got
mainly to get people killed.
There has to be a leader.
softcore. It's softcore horror, Steven.
Yeah, softcore
It is.
horror.
It's the only kind of horror I play.
No,
I don't, because even when I started Dead by Daylight, like at first, like the jump scares would like every time I'd play, like my whole screen, like you'd see me like playing, and my screen would just go wah.
yeah.
I'd freak out. I don't know how that's
I
not
don't
a
know.
horror game.
It just doesn't. It doesn't.
It's
doesn't
scary. It
seem
builds
right.
it builds a sense of anxiousness, which is horror. It scared me.
But to what end?
It's scary.
That there's no resolution.
Yeah.
What?
So
You made it to a bonfire?
yeah,
That's not resolution.
it is.
That's
You
purgatory.
still try. Yeah, pretty much is what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
Wait, what was that one game you two were playing where has some really nasty zombie creatures come out? What? Oh, he's talking
Dying
about
Light.
Dying Light.
I don't really even consider that horror either.
That kind of was. What are you talking about?
I don't consider that horror.
Your idea of horror is so
It doesn't make me jump. Like it, nothing.
It made me jump when we were getting chased by hordes of those night. I don't forget what they're
Yeah, the
called.
only reason I was running is I didn't want to lose my life.
Yeah, that's scary.
No, I was more like I don't know. I was commandoing through that one.
Oh my gosh.
Took my underwear off so I could run faster.
I'm sorry that you're into hardcore horror and I'm into softcore horror.
No, you make it sound so bad.
You guys have to find the middle ground, guys.
Yeah, there is no middle
Medium
ground. let me tell you.
horror.
Yeah,
What do you consider the middle ground, bud? What are your words in this conversation, this argument, this
Oh, I'm not getting in the middle of your guys' argument. You guys
this
will
mess
settle
that this has
yourself.
started? This mess. What are your takes here?
So do you not consider what's that one game Zombie U? I hated that game
That
too.
is actually horror.
I hated that game too. I couldn't play. I had to return it because I couldn't play it.
Wasn't it broken in some parts?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like the zombie was just like.
Oh yeah, there were parts like it's like triggers in Halo 1. If you trigger a certain event, if you run past another trigger, all the enemies will stop and wait there for you. Yeah, some of that does happen, but I think that was just an oversight by the programmers.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, there were things where like you had to like pull out the Wii pad and like punch in numbers, but the game would still play behind you. So like
Ooh.
you could look at the screen, there was this horde of zombies coming in toward you. You had to punch in the numbers to this door before they got to you. And there was like parts where like your character would go under like through water, like really dark, deep water. I'm like, I wouldn't be going through. I'd be finding another way. F that. I literally had
Zombies drown. They can't be down there.
They don't breathe. Didn't you ever read the zombie survival guide? Zombies can survive in water.
They don't breathe.
They don't
son.
breathe, son. I'm gonna have to let you borrow the zombie survival guide.
I think I did read
you
it.
need it.
I think I did.
I think you
read
need it.
Yeah, you should probably.
Otherwise,
read
you're gonna die.
I think I did read.
I
it.
don't
you're
think
probably
you
gonna
did.
die.
Yeah.
That
Because you obviously think you're gonna go.
That's
into...
a threat. You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
I mean, my plan was to get a boat and go onto the ocean.
Didn't you see the end of what's that movie?
I don't know.
With Brad Pitt.
No,
Like
not that's World War Z. No,
he's on a boat on that one.
no,
He's
not
on a
that
boat.
one. I'm
He's on
talking
a
about oh, what is that one? George Romero's Day of the Dead.
Nope. I plan on seeing all of them. I haven't yet though. What happens?
Don't get on the boat. Don't get on the boat to go to the private island, bud.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm gonna run the coast.
Where are you gonna get gas?
Oh, I'll do it the way they used to do it with sails.
What if you have a motorboat?
I'm not gonna.
What if there's not a sailboat available, bud?
Then I won't get.
And you don't have clean energy to run it off
If
of?
there isn't a sailboat, I won't get on it. That's
Well, then there goes your whole boat thing.
yeah. That's my plan. Fine, a sailboat. I'll be more specific.
There you go.
Oh my god! Can't we just generalize in life a little
No,
bit?
we can't.
Come on.
I won't allow it.
Really not.
We need to have like
Never again.
We need,
Done.
we need a rule set. Be specific.
So apparently you're not specific enough, and my idea of scary isn't scary enough.
No.
Oh.
I don't
You
like.
need something that keeps you awake at night.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I won't play those games.
I like to watch things that like give me the chills to the point where I don't want to get up off the couch until I chilled myself out.
Dead by Daylight. Like when I first started playing that, the killers like made me panic so much that like when I had to go to work overnights, I don't know, I like freaked myself out going outside.
So actually, I wanted to talk like more about paranormal stuff.
I hear
just for
something
the hell of
like
it.
crack in the backyard. I'm like, that?
Oh, yeah.
Get in my car really quick and drive off.
Wow.
It's probably a squirrel.
It's probably a squirrel. And then you get to work and like the doors would open. There was no like I'd go out like to the hall and there was nobody there. It's like,
Well, that was one thing I want to do. I would like to do like a paranormal episode just for the fun of it.
oh.
But I want to sit down with a bunch of nurses
Can I-
and staff at the hospital and ask them about their experiences.
Can I not be in on that episode?
Like one of the
Like
experience I
paranormal.
hear about at one of the hospitals was a gentleman reading a book. And it sounds nondescript, just some dude reading a book, but it was multiple people that saw them that night, and there was actually nobody there.
Hmm.
Or he'd be seen in two different places at once, kind of thing. I just like to talk to people and ask their stories and just be like, what kind of weird things have you seen, and talk about that. I think it'd be a fun show.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I do.
I think it'd be scary.
And then I rig all the I rig the breakers with a timer so they flip off in the middle of it.
I don't like scary.
Except for that one that runs the computer. So all the lights kick off, but the computer's still running.
I don't like scary. I don't.
I've been getting used to it.
I don't like it. Like I said, the only way I can get through even as we've so put it, my softcore horror is like I gotta laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I insult the killers as I'm running from them. Just that's how I've gotten past it.
You shame me.
I don't like scary.
You shame me.
I don't like scary. I've never liked scary. I don't like horror movies. I don't like I just don't. That is
Oh, you
one thing
suck.
that I've never gotten into. I don't like the thrill of being scared. It just does not appeal to me. Honestly, speaking of not necessarily games, but scary things like
Things.
from Disney. What they had the what was that ride called? Extra terrestrial. That was scary. Did you ever ride it? Did you ever ride it? It was scary. You're strapped down in a seat,
And there's whips.
You're gonna see
You're
this
bent
little,
over.
This little harness comes down, and some guy gets killed up in the rafter. Like there's an alien in this tube, and it gets
yes,
out.
I know what it is. It's
And
now Stitch's
and nobody
Great
else,
Escape.
nobody else knows. Let me explain it.
You don't know that they don't.
They
know.
don't know it. I'm gonna explain it. You don't know it.
You have poorly described this thing. You keep describing. I'm gonna find us an image of the seating so that people have an idea of what you keep going.
Okay, anyway. So there's this big tube in the center, and the alien gets out, and all the scientists are like they're like start panicking. They're like, it's fine. All the power goes out. And, like a guy gets killed up in the rafters, and then like it starts jumping around on the sea. Like so, these little harnesses like they push down on your shoulders, and then there's like puffs of air behind you and stuff. It starts jumping around, so you just hear this wave of scream of people in a big circle as it's jumping on their chairs, and it's like breathing down the back of your neck.
That?
It was terrifying. I was like 7 or something,
Wow,
and
that's a zoom in right there.
Yeah, I could.
that scared the holy bejesus out of me.
I know. Look how pixelated that shit is.
I
Ugh.
squirmed.
Right.
I squirmed out of my chair and ran for the
That's
exit.
what's scary.
It's what the pixelization.
Yes. The pixels.
The low resolutions.
So basically, it was a round theater like you see there, and weird shit would happen, and you're strapped into those chairs, unable to get up,
I
except
mean,
for apparently Laura.
if
Is that for small children?
if it walks around amongst you guys, I can see how that could be scary too.
Well,
'cause-
it doesn't actually. It's the seat would bump underneath you. Your armrest would move up and down as if it would jump.
No, but would it like go up and down the aisles?
No, there was no
Oh.
creature present. It was just hydraulics.
Oh, even that?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks like someone.
No, that would break in the center, and the lights would flash, and he'd disappear from it.
So they.
So he'd be up in the rafters or climbing on top of seats.
I thought I was a guy in a
And there was
suit.
some-
No. It was.
And then somebody be up top dropping, like, or not somebody, but there'd be devices that would be dropping blood from the workmen up top.
Which would be
Yeah.
like water, just
Gotcha,
water.
gotcha.
But no, it was terrifying as a child.
It
Like,
apparently
now-
was actually pretty terrifying.
It was very terrifying. That's probably why I don't like horror stuff, because my dad was like, "Oh, it's not scary at all." Like, because my dad's a butt like that. Because he also told me that Space Mountain, because at the time when I was really little, I hated roller coasters too. They terrified me, and they got me on Space Mountain, and they told me it wasn't a roller coaster. They're like, no, it's not a roller coaster. They stuck me in the very front seat. I
I could
hated
see that
it.
too, Danny.
I was terrified. Oh, what? A burglar breaking in, me going, "Your mom's a whore," and running out of the. I would, but no, like that was a terrifying. They've made it more kid friendly. They've turned it into Stitch, so it's
okay.
it's Stitch breaking out. Hey. It's Stitch breaking out and like jumping it, so it's like it's funny.
So is it like
it's funny
is
then.
Is it slobber now?
Yeah, so it was like Stitch, but like back then it was just like this really creepy alien in this tube, and it just got out and just like murdered people up in the rafters. It's like, this is terrifying. I
Yeah,
hated it.
We got a short taste of what it looked like.
I hated it so much, and the Tower of Terror actually frightened me a lot too. Like, I don't know why it. Like, we get to the elevator part, and
Well, because
I would just.
Because they'd always stop at a
I'd start.
random floor, right?
I started crying.
So
I started crying at Disney.
Why is it only coming in the left channel?
I don't know. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Ow. That hurt.
sorry if you guys heard that in the.
I'm not. I hope you enjoyed it. That was meant to scare you.
It just made me angry.
Oh.
Yeah,
You're gonna call me a whore and run out the room?
Yeah, I am.
brought to you by Zimmerman's Nuts.
So I think
Nuts,
this
salted.
poor audio is
Buy
due to
some.
this person's mono film.
Uh-huh.
But it's all fun. You're supposed to be looking at some captured alien,
Uh-huh.
and then this shit happens.
Oh yeah. Like, you hear all the glass breaking. Like, all these alarms start going off.
Oh yeah.
Hated it.
The unbreakable glass broke.
It's giving me.
How did that happen?
That's actually what it's supposed to be, unbreakable.
Yeah, they're like, it's
That's-
unbreakable
I
glass.
was making a joke. I know.
No,
That's-
no.
That's how it always is.
Wait.
how to get through the unbreakable glass. It's too strong. It's
I
unbreakable.
gotta add some distortion to it. Oh, that actually puts it in stereo, and it won't get picked up by Content ID.
And yeah, it's like it's got these glowy red eyes and it's like screeching. I hated it so much. And being like a 7-year-old child, this was terrifying.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, so after that, it shatters and then it wanders among the people.
I can see that being scary.
Yeah, here.
We've got major damage. What's going on in here? Got the blackout. Find the auxiliary power switch. No problem. You can find it at the
This wanker's gonna die.
At least I remember him die. Maybe he did.
No, he does.
Does he? Yeah. Like you hear this and like you hear all this.
Excess? Did you hear that? Never mind. Just find the switch. Roger.
I think that's Dan Castanelli.
We got the signal from your night vision camera.
It's actually a pretty star-studded cast for the time, I believe.
I hated that so much. Terrible. Traumatic. I know why. I know why they changed it because kids were leaving crying.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Case in point.
I did. Thank you. I
Did
cried
you also
a lot.
leave the Haunted Mansion?
No, I like the Haunted Mansion.
Oh.
But I hated the Tower of
That was
Terror.
softcore enough for you?
Yeah, we got to Tower of Terror though, and I started bawling my eyes out once we got to the elevator. I wanted to go
sounds like
back.
fun. No, it doesn't.
Huh? No, it was terrifying.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh.
hated it.
Oh.
My dad lied to me a lot during that trip, telling me that things weren't what they were, and then it ended up being exactly what I thought they were.
Jeez, I'm surprised you can trust anything he says now. I mean,
I can't.
Oh, okay, well, oh,
You
sorry,
can't.
I didn't mean to bring anything up.
Thanks for bringing the daddy issues up from the dead.
No.
I wonder if you remember
Asshole.
Alien Isolation. I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's a horror game. Oh, yeah, you played Outlast.
No, I barely played it because it was scary. I didn't want to play it. It spooked me.
And then, yeah, Outlast. Isolation similar to Outlast. I don't think you can fight back, if I'm not mistaken. It's Alien Isolation, yeah.
okay, yeah. I thought about picking that up
Well, why didn't you?
Yeah. Why didn't you?
because there's other games I'd rather play first. Actually, I picked up Yakuza 0, which is actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah. For being I wasn't expecting it to be as much of a button masher as it is, but
Dude, it's totally an arcade brawler.
it's awesome.
But there's so much depth. There's so much crap you can do.
yeah, there's
Like the pachinkos, the arcades,
karaoke,
strip clubs,
I've only gotten past the first
strip clubs,
Oh, I
hookers.
don't
You can also
don't
shove them in the trunk.
spoil it. I didn't know any of that. No, but it's good so far.
It's Grand Theft Auto, but from Japan.
I can't really think of any other scary things,
Yeah, dude.
though.
Great.
I can't really think of anything else that's like really scary.
No, you can't.
At least for me. Well, I'm sorry that
Rust is pretty terrifying if we're gonna go softcore horror.
Rust is not scary.
Yeah,
It's
When you
just-
have other players,
It's
it is.
just annoying at that
to
point. It's
inform
not
me.
scary.
When you're running around in the dark.
No, it's not scary.
What is this?
Even I don't think that's
Rust?
scary.
So it's
a
like
survival
Minecraft,
game.
but
It's not
multiplayer only.
scary.
I don't think I ever played that.
The Isle. I don't know what
That game is not scary. Or are you talking about the forest?
I've never played that either.
Oh, like the Slender Man Forest type game, where you're trying to collect pages and stuff, and then that thing is like,
Oh, yeah, and it's like in
the-
your face. I haven't
more
actually
Oh,
seen.
Slender Man.
the more pages
Oh!
you collect, the closer it gets.
Yeah, Slenderman. I've seen
seems-
people play it.
That seems-
I would not.
I
be-
have it.
I wouldn't be
I'm
able
not
to.
gonna play it.
I wouldn't be able to. That's another game that's kind of is Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's like
I've got a walk-through horror simulator for
I
the Oculus.
hate that game.
I don't-
with
That's
a-
not horror. That's jump scares.
That's horror. Did it kill you? How is that not horror?
And there's a story behind it.
And there's a story behind it.
You-
I already read the story. I'm not gonna play that game.
It's a
I don't like
horror.
jump scares.
It's a horror game.
I like the feel. I like feeling
Just
dread.
because you don't like the type of horror that it is doesn't make it not horror.
It's
Just because
only
I don't
one
like
dread.
it. Just because
And
I don't.
am the law.
Just because.
the law.
Just because somebody draws something and I don't like the way it's drawn, I'm not like, that's not art.
Yes.
that's a piece of that's piece of shit art.
You know,
Yeah.
I drew that turd just for you.
It's still horror. It's just not your flavor of horror.
Yeah, it's not my flavor of horror.
Uh,
It really isn't.
but yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't like that game either. Yeah, because I don't like the jump scares at all. I hate jump scares. As those are they're honestly the worst.
I just hate adjusting to them more than anything.
They just make me not want to, because I know when they're coming, and I just don't want to go down that hallway. I'll be like, I'll save before, and I just won't ever go down that
Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah, it's completely different from playing like platform games or anything like that with a pattern, because those jump scares is like unpredictable, you know, which makes it even more tense. So I can definitely
I liked.
go along with that.
Like Resident Evil 2 didn't feel like a
What's-
horror this time either.
Wait, what series? Amazed that
Initial D.
no.
That's a racing game, right?
Wait.
It was a racing game.
It still is in arcades.
Initial D
If you have
is
a
an anime.
if you have the memory card, you can still play the arcade games. I hear
It's an anime.
an arcade game. Oh,
It's an adult anime.
am I wrong?
No, the anime is not adult. The game that the anime is based on is an adult game. Just like the beloved series Fate Night Stay
I don't know.
or Fate Night Excelsius or whatever it's called. Those are based on an adult video game.
I'll take your word on that.
Yeah, they are.
No, but I heard
I
like
killed some guy's dreams when I told him that.
Told him what?
I'm pretty.
He didn't believe Fate Night Stay was based on an
I'm-
adult anime
I'm pretty
game.
sure they
Oh.
made an all driving
Oh, they did.
arcade game.
They did.
Oh well, that's what I'm talking
Like
about.
it spun a huge series, Initial D, but it's where it came from is not what you would expect.
Okay, all right. Well,
And
Yep.
apparently, even in that version of the game, it was a decent
they
racer.
made a Netflix show off of that.
They did.
recently. Is that even close to what the source material is? I watched part of it.
Did you?
I didn't see anything inappropriate. It was about
Or what?
the Initial D thing. It was like driving, you know, drifting. Don't
Was
spill
it?
the coffee and what?
Was it?
You know, yeah.
Was it?
Was it?
What I've seen of it.
Was it?
Was it? I don't know.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean-
wrong. So it started out as a manga, but there were.
Inappropriate.
Mhm.
Okay.
The dating sim for the Japanese drifting sim.
Did you find it?
No, that's just what dating sim.
It was, I believe, yeah.
Dating sims.
Oh, we're gonna go into
Either that, or they were
I mean,
so.
it's almost Valentine's Day.
Either that, or they were
appropriate.
so closely linked to it, like in its stylization, that the two are mixed up, which
I-
is very possible.
Speaking of dating sims, I just remember we bought that one game thinking it was
Oh yeah, the Hakuoki.
Hakuoki.
I totally thought I was gonna get me a harem game.
And it ended up being a reverse harem, and so I got to play it.
Yeah.
And I played it through every single ending.
Oh my.
Yet I get shit for playing them.
Yeah, but
Who
these
knew?
the girl ones don't have like
Oh yes, they do.
no, they don't. No, what the Hakuoki doesn't.
They're smutty.
Oh, it really wasn't.
It was tasteful smut.
No, like there was no smut.
It's just the right flavor of smut.
There was no smut.
They were just
It
dangling.
was softcore smut.
That's like saying the. That's like saying that those romance novels that women read aren't porn.
Wait,
I've had
what?
so many.
There
girls-
are no images.
Oh no. Apparently some of those get raunchy. Megan told me her life that someone she knew had one. It was like
They're pretty.
She flipped through it. She's like, whoa. It gets pretty detailed apparently.
Okay, I think we can table this.
No, we gotta keep going.
Forever.
Don't pick up what's on your mom's reading lamp table. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story. Don't do it. Don't.
Is this on the AR list? No, son, no.
No, llama, no.
You'll get 0 points for that one.
Well, unless your teacher.
Well, that's very
girl.
advanced.
Yeah, maybe she
Actually,
likes, maybe that's her favorite
If you're
book.
advanced enough, you could write your own test for the book that you read. So you can write that test
What?
for the
Oh
book.
God. Oh gosh, the lusty Argonian maid. From Skyrim.
Dude, I actually I have that set of books I need to open. That's all the
Those are
Skyrim books
freaking
and hardback.
hilarious. The lusty Argonian maid.
Have you read them? I need to read them now.
They're hilarious.
Bust out my Nintendo Switch. Bust out the lusty Argonian maid.
It's
and bust a nut.
hilarious.
Oh my. Like,
It's a little too far. A little too
Apparently,
far.
everyone's telling me I got to read these things. They must be good.
It's funny.
Oh,
It's funny. Yeah, I just said oof.
there was an Argonian maid. I saw. There was an Argonian maid though in that game.
Was
I bet
there?
it was about her.
I don't remember.
No, she wasn't a maid. She was a
But-
shopkeep. How dare you disrespect her?
I'm sorry.
so where was she going?
What?
She was Argonian. Where was she going?
No. I'm not
On a bus
engaging in that.
going
joke.
anywhere.
Damn it. All right, fine.
On the midnight train going anywhere. Sorry.
Oh, wait.
What are you doing?
I think
Muting
he's meeting me.
computer.
Oh. I was banned for a second.
Oh,
Oh no.
what did she do?
I don't know. What did I do?
I don't know.
Say
Oh.
something.
Ooh,
Oh,
sounds.
there we go.
I don't know.
Oh, it's not working that well.
Do it again.
I can
Is that the
definitely hear it.
voice filter one? Do it.
Is it the one that makes me sound like Gurr?
Yeah.
It does. Classic poop.
Yeah, that's exactly what that does. Now you're out of the club.
What? No.
Yeah. You're out of the club.
The He-Man Woman Hater Club.
I got a pickle. I got a pickle. Yeah, I know that game.
Oh
Shut
my
up.
gosh. Is he like. Oh my goodness. He's typing in the whole thing. Don't type in the whole thing into the chat, please.
I must first finish my clean. So wrong.
Wow.
I think we run out of things to do on this stream tonight. Like I said, this was very poorly planned,
Paranormal.
literally thrown together at the last
Yeah.
minute. I'd actually like to do a paranormal episode, but like talk about some of the things we like.
Like paranormal stuff.
That's cool.
Scary.
Well,
it's
Kingdom Hearts 3,
It's poopy.
I still want to wait. 'Cause there are people that still haven't beat it.
But I want to talk about it.
Oh, now you know my pain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
People at work finally
finally beating it.
there's 4 people at work that have beat it, and the other day we were all talking about it, and I can't say anything.
That's right. How do you, it doesn't feel good, does it?
No, because
At least you've got people to talk to about it, work with it.
Yeah, you're the only one that likes paranormal really out of our friends.
Ah.
That's gonna be like a you episode where you're gonna be like
Okay.
paranormal. You gotta make your hair.
Okay, yeah,
you
I'll
gotta,
host the episode.
you
It's
gotta-
like I'm introducing you guys to it.
You
How's that?
gotta make
Hey,
your hair really crazy that
I've
day
had
and go
experience in it, so I can talk about it. I don't
ghosts.
enjoy it.
Ghosts.
I told you that.
Wait, what?
We'll have to talk more later.
I don't recall this.
You've told me, but I have questions.
All right.
I hate paranormal stuff. I don't like spooky. I don't like scary. I don't like that feeling. I don't like
I
feeling.
do.
I don't.
I like being terrified about entering the other room. I like it where I'm afraid and I have to decide, do I want the lights on so I can see it coming to get me, or do I want the lights off so I don't hear?
when I was younger, I wouldn't sleep.
What?
I wouldn't sleep in the
Yeah.
dark. I would have Christmas
What?
lights in my
You
room.
always want the lights off so you don't cast your own shadow.
No, I
No, you want the lights off so you don't see it coming.
Because your own shadow could get you. So you turn the lights off so everyone's in even.
When I was a kid, this was my thought process. I do not want the closet light on unless the closet is open.
Okay.
I don't want to see shadows under the door.
Actually, that is pretty fair because
I would check my
all
closet
those
and my
toys
bed.
and stuff, with the light.
Shadows under the door creep me out more than seeing something coming straight for me.
See, I would check under my bed and I would check my closet and I would have Christmas lights strung up on my nightstand.
I still don't like leaving my
And
I would-
hands
I would
or
leave-
legs hanging over
I
the
would
side of
leave.
the bed.
I would
this day.
leave
It's
my
just not a
my
cool
door
thing.
cracked open too. See that? I used to not, but
Do you guys know what a My Buddy doll is?
A Dybbuk? What?
A My Buddy doll?
no.
No.
You should look it up. I had
Why?
because
Sounds
I had
scary.
one of those. Some demented family member of mine bought me one when I was
Oh
younger.
my, but look it up.
And it reminded me of Chucky because I glimpsed that movie when I was younger. So I always had this feeling at night that it would move on its own. And the commercial had this creepy song, My Buddy, My Buddy. I'm like, no.
I had this
Look
Mickey
at
Mouse.
that. So creepy.
That is pretty bad.
I had a toy that every time it would turn off and make this creepy music. It was
Oh.
a Mickey Mouse toy.
That's worse.
And it, like when it turned off, it made this like weird sad music, and every time like I'd shove it in my closet and like leave before it could
I
shut
want
off
to
on
get a Teddy
its own.
Ruxpin and put creepy
I
shit on
love
that.
Teddy Ruxpin. Don't
That's
you
what we
dare
need. No,
ruin
we-
Teddy
no,
Ruxpin for
You guys
me.
need to do that for Halloween.
Get a
Is-
Teddy Ruxpin that just
set it-
talks.
And set it on your porch, like creepy stuff, while you're passing out
Hey,
candy.
did that inspire Chucky?
I think this. I don't know. I think
It
this.
kind of looks like Chucky.
I don't know which. It's egg and the chicken scenario here.
I just want to get a whole bunch of those and leave them outside of the door of your outside of your apartment,
I will-
facing your door.
I will punt them.
Just all
I'm just
facing your
We're
door.
gonna break into your apartment and just plant them everywhere.
Wow.
It's-
Breaking and entering just stated on stream.
I'm pretty sure they mean allegedly break in.
I won't be
mean,
here.
Yes.
I'm gonna break
Yes.
it.
No, it has, and there's also a female version of that too.
Nope,
I'm
not
pre-
having it.
I'm pretty sure Shelby had it.
Yeah.
So there were two in the house. Not just.
Did they ever move on you?
I was a kid. I imagine they did.
It's like the Furbies. People always said Furbies were always possessed.
My
No, they didn't. It was that the Chinese were spying on you through his
No,
forehead.
we always said that they were possessed, like because you take the batteries out and they'd
Yeah.
still move and stuff and like
my
turn
uncle
on.
got so pissed at my niece's Furby that he took it out in the garage at night and took a golf club to it and smashed it.
Shit. Was it back in her room the next day?
No, like he hid it in the garage after he smashed it. And we found it
Jesus.
when we were visiting, my sister, Shelby and I. We
Oh,
found it in the garage.
Jesus. All right, guys. We appreciate you joining us.
Yeah.
Sorry it's been such a haphazard episode. Bud's
I
been
know.
sick.
Yeah.
I've been scatterbrained.
tired.
Laura's not doing anything.
Excuse me.
She's
Excuse me.
making stuff.
I am making.
She is. She's actually doing something else.
I've been sewing a lot.
You might get a chance to see it. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I can wear it one day after I finish. it.
Yep.
It's fun.
Our organization clothes came in, by the way, if that episode ever
They
aired.
look like
Yeah,
bathrobes.
they look like booty. We're going to have to do some tailoring. But thanks for coming out. Again, I believe next week we start Mondays. I'll put an update on the channel probably tomorrow. I'll let you guys know for sure. So keep an eye out till then. Thanks for joining us. I hope you had fun. We had fun, especially since we're just kind of sitting around talking shit tonight. So have a good night, guys. Thank you.
All right, see ya.